morning. Bright and early, right? So it is a delight to welcome you this morning. I am Stacy Edmondson. I'm the Dean of the College of Education here at Sam Houston State University, and we are excited to welcome you to this ceremony. I want to begin by introducing our platform party. We have Dr. Kathleen Rice, Associate Dean of Graduate Studies for the College of Education. Have Dr. Holly Weimer, Chair of the Department of Library Science and Technology. Dr. Helen Berg, Associate Chair for the School of Teaching and Learning. And Dr. Forrest Lane, Chair of the Department of Educational Leadership. If you will please help me welcome our platform party. As I said, welcome to our first ever College of Education doctoral hooding ceremony here at Sam Houston State University. What a wonderful thing for us to celebrate, the culmination of this long, challenging, and meaningful journey that you and our students have been part of as they engaged in their doctoral work. And I have to begin with a thank you to all of the people that made this moment possible. To our graduates, to you, their support network of family, friends, and fellow students, to the faculty who nurtured and challenged those students, and to the staff and administrative infrastructure here in the College of Education. Earning a doctoral degree is not something that happens by accident or without an entire network and ecosystem of hard work, support, sacrifice, and we thank everybody here for your role in that accomplishment. I also have to acknowledge the period of time in which this happened. Our students today are graduating with a terminal degree, the highest academic award available in their respective field, in the midst of one of the most tumultuous times that our country and our world have ever seen. Divisive political unrest, important social change, but the upheaval that accompanies that sort of change, the worst global pandemic in modern history, hurricanes, and even, if you believe it, Snowmageddon, of all things. It is an understatement to say that we have had more than our share of challenges and troubles in the last year and a half. But bad news isn't new. There's always bad news. But bad news is real. And how do we move forward in a time like this from that kind of heaviness? And I would say that being here today, together, in a space like this, is how we move forward from that kind of heaviness. Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, to most of us here, described it this way several years ago in response to the tragedies after 9/11. He talked about when he was a child and bad things would happen and what his mother would say to him to comfort him when he was scared or overwhelmed. And she said to him, always look for the helpers. There's always someone who is trying to help. And Mr. Rogers said that's what he did. And he came to see that the world was full of doctors and nurses and policemen and firemen and teachers and volunteers and neighbors and friends who are always ready to jump in and to help when things are hard and when things go wrong. So today, we gather as a network, as a community, as an ecosystem, a room full of helpers. Our faculty and staff are helpers. Our family and friends and our community are helpers. And most importantly, our doctoral graduates today are helpers. Educators of all different types who aspire to do and to be more. Today's graduates are our future. They are the opportunity, and that opportunity expands exponentially starting today with graduation. Together we make a difference every single day. We make a difference in the lives of children, in society, our country, our world. We make a difference in the future. And we are not able just to make the world a better place. We are responsible for making the world a better place every single day. And our graduates, today's doctoral graduates, are an important, necessary, critical part of that change. And I am so excited to see what happens next for every single one of them. I have to confess that I'm a little bit of a quote junkie. It's true, ask anybody that knows me. But I love reading powerful things that other people have to say. And I want to close with a quote that I just read recently from Steve Jobs. the creator of Apple. He said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living somebody else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary." So to our graduates, today is your day. Enjoy every moment, even socially distant with masks on, and have the courage to let this moment be the first step into a future of following your heart, to making our world better than it is right now, and to living your life every single day. Congratulations, enjoy this momentous occasion, and congratulations from everyone in the College of Education. It is now my pleasure to introduce Forrest Lane, who will call out our graduates.
Ashley Daniel, hooded by Dr. Chi-Sing Lee, the lived experience of professional counselors who are first-generation South Asian American. Megan Garza Glass, hooded by Dr. Yvonne Garza Chavez, perceptions of parents whose children experienced aquatic relational experiential therapy. Adrienne Lira, hooded by Dr. Rebecca Robles-Pina, the mediating effect of multicultural exposure on the multicultural counseling competence of mental health professionals who work with Latin American immigrants. Efrain Uribe, hooded by Dr. Timothy Brown, a phenomenological study to explore lived experiences of Hispanic unaccompanied homeless youth. Jennifer Graves, hooded by Dr. Peggy Holzweiss, K-12 professionals and higher education administrators' perspective of the successful transition of learning disabled students to post-secondary education. Farah Hayes, hooded by Dr. Forrest Lane, embedded tutors for remedial math. Juan Jimenez, hooded by Dr. Nara Martirosyan, current practices in designing and developing effective learning center spaces in post-secondary education. Galen Davenport, hooded by Dr. John Slate, differences in mathematics achievement as a function of ethnicity, race, and economic status of Texas grade 3 students, a multi-year statewide investigation. Kenneth Fraga, hooded by Dr. Julie Combs, African-American male administrators and their perceptions of the freshman transition experience for African-American males, a collective case study. Cornelius Gilder, hooded by Dr. John Slate, police presence, activities, and policies at public schools, a national analysis. Ann Lee, hooded by Dr. Peggy Holzweiss, Principal Leadership and Special Education Programming, Qualitative Case Study to Fostering Inclusive Practices. Bartholomew Miller, hooded by Dr. John Slate, Inequities in the Number of Days Assigned to an Exclusionary Discipline Consequence as a Function of Ethnicity, Race, and Economic Status of Texas High School Students, a multi-year statewide investigation. Shaquila Price, hooded by Dr. Cynthia Martinez Garcia, Differences in School Discipline Efforts and Cyberbullying by School Level, a National Analysis. Catherine Rohde, hooded by Dr. John Slate, Differences in Texas School Accountability Ratings and Student Progress Measures as a Function of the Campus Principal's Average Year of Experience. Letitia Roman, hooded by Dr. Julie Combs, Successful Turnaround Leadership, a Delphi Study. Alexis Taylor, hooded by Dr. John Slate, Differences in the Mathematics Performance of Texas Grade 4 Boys and Girls Enrolled in Special Education as a Function of their Economic Status and Ethnicity, Race, a multi-year statewide investigation. Amanda Coleman, hooded by Dr. Matthew Fuller, Strategies and Best Practices for Communicating During an Active Attack in Higher Education. Jarrell Sherman, hooded by Dr. Ricardo Montalongo, Cut from a Different Cloth, Examining the Role Hip-Hop Plays in Belonging at Select Institutions of Higher Education. Dana Vandewalker, hooded by Dr. Paul Eaton and Dr. Forrest Lane, Islamophobia, Immigration Policy, and International Student Mobility in the Trump Era. Sandra Fleming, hooded by Dr. Lee Jen Lester, Distance Learning During COVID-19, Differences in Environmental Dynamics Between Rural and Major Suburban Elementary Schools. Joseph Guidry, hooded by Dr. Shenlong Chen, Technology-Based Rich Media Training Compared to Traditional Media Training and Blue-Collar Employees. Courtney Hebert, hooded by Dr. Kimberly LaPrairie, Factors Affecting Faculty Participation and Online Development at a Higher Education Institution. Fadia Brakia, hooded by Dr. Lori Haas, From subjects of change to agents of change, digital literacy practices of Algerian women during the 2019 popular movement. Primrawi Bruwatigi, hooded by Dr. Lori Haas and Mary Patron. The effect of readers' theater on Thai pre-service English teachers' improvement of pronunciation in Thailand. Ulysses Mack, hooded by Dr. Nancy Votler. The impact of critical service learning projects on pre-service teachers.
If you would please join me in giving all of our graduates a round of applause. It is absolutely a day to celebrate, and the celebration continues as we all transition over to the Coliseum for the formal commencement ceremony. But thank you for joining us this morning, and we have lots of photo opportunities, so please take a moment and enjoy that as well. But we will see you very soon in the Coliseum. Congratulations.